Hi, I'm Megan Baker, and this is InfluenceHER. Vivian Kornegay has been with the Albany County Sheriff's Office for 8 years. Sheriff Craig Apple tasked her with a new challenge to lead the Sheriff's Homeless Improvement Program, or SHIP, as a Special Projects Coordinator. You are known as resident mom here. What inspired you to get involved with activism in the community?
What inspired me to get involved with activism in the community is I listened to a lot of people say, why don't they do something? Why doesn't someone do something? And I thought to myself one day, well, who are they? And who are we waiting for? If we are the community and we have need, then we are the people that need to take action to make changes, to make life better for our neighbors and ourselves. So it was a no-brainer. If it's work to be done, someone has to do it, and we are the they.
Let's talk a little bit about SHIP and why you're here. First, tell us a little bit about what the program is.
So it is the Albany County Sheriff's Homeless Improvement Program. So we are not a shelter, and I tell people that all the time. We're not a shelter. We are a program that happens to provide shelter for homeless men. And within that program, we take each individual that comes to us and tries to meet whatever needs they have, whether they're here for a safe place to be clean and sober, or they're just coming home from incarceration and have nowhere to go, or if they're coming to us from a tent. Whatever their needs are, wherever they come from, and whatever part of their life they need to rebuild, we're here to try to help them rebuild that. We help people with getting their identification back. A lot of people have lost their Social Security cards and whatever they need to identify who they are. We help them to fill out job applications, to fill out housing applications. Whatever help that individual needs, we try to meet that need. So that's the kind of program we are. The sheriff said just in passing one day, maybe about 10 years ago, I don't know, that I'm going to open a homeless shelter in the jail, or a shelter for homeless people in the jail. And I think some people probably looked at him like, what? But I looked at him and got excited, because people coming home from incarceration, people that have substance use issues, these are the people that I worked with in the community. And it excited me to know that there would be a place that I could help these people. So when he said, I'm doing it, I said, well, I want to go, pick me. And it was open for about 8 months before I actually got to come here and be a part of it. It is truly, truly a labor of love. And for him, it's just part of who he is. And he is a visionary in the things that he does. I tell him, and he's probably going to be upset about this, that yes, you are a law enforcement officer, but you're a social worker. And social workers have a heart to help people. He has a heart to help people, and I know that I do, and many of my coworkers have that same heart to help people. So
you are very humble. I hear you talking very highly of the sheriff, but this has been a full circle moment for you.
Yes, it has.
If you will share your experience and what you have helped your son through.
So my son, the reason I know him, the sheriff, is because my son was once in this building where we sit. He probably sat and had a meal at this table when he was had a different life. He was in and out of jail, and this was part of his path to New York State Department of Corrections. But he was having some struggles in this facility, and I went to talk to the sheriff, and I went in as a mother who was upset and angry, and he talked to me and told me he would do some things and make some changes, and he did. And from that moment, and seeing him as not just a law enforcement officer, but someone a human, someone I could talk to, someone that I could work with, led me into working with the Albany Police Department, volunteering with the Albany Police Department. And I volunteered with them for some years, working closely with two of their previous chiefs, Steve and Brendan, that were phenomenal men. And the work that we did in the community to join the community with the police department, so that it wasn't a them and us, it was a us, just us, the police were the partners with the community, and the community partnered with them. And seeing how just having that relationship worked, it just, it was just, it was really a magic moment, I think, for me to see that, these are not just people with guns and badges that don't care, they just want to lock our folks up. But if we work right and work this right, then we can make real change. So I just got interested in working with reentry. And from there, I worked when the SNUG program first came to Albany. I was at the table discussing, let's get this. We need money for this program to get these guns off of the streets and out of the hands of our children. My son, actually, his life influenced me quite a bit. My son also was shot 3 times and left on the corner of First and Quail for dead. And I give thanks to God and the Albany Fire Department for saving his life, because that was probably the longest night of my life, sitting in the emergency room not knowing whether or not my son was going to live. So I thank God that he did. And during that time, I had people like Sheriff Apple and Brendan Cox and Chief Kokoff, who were my friends from law enforcement, but understood that this is somebody's child and treated me as such. And it just gave me more inspiration to try and show people that we do need to work together. We do need to have it full circle. It can't be the police and the community, or it has to be us together. And us together is a way that we can bring change and make things better for all of us. So
it's a powerful message, and I really appreciate you taking the time to share that personal story. What do you get out of working and being a part of SHIP as resident mom?
Oh my God, I get rewarded every day. I get rewarded when men say to me, I'm in school. Even someone coming to me going, Vivian, I finally got my driver's license. I got my license back. Those are my rewards when I see the successes of the men in the program, when I see that they're going to school, when they get the jobs they've been looking for, when they leave here and they're in their own apartments, and when people call back and go, hey, I just signed my lease for a 2nd year. I've been in my apartment for a year and now I'm signing a new lease. Those are my rewards, because it feels good to know that you've helped someone to get to recognize who they really are and that they can do these things. That's my reward every day. And when I come through the doors in the morning, some of the guys are up on the couch and just, good morning, good morning. So it's just to know that they appreciate it. And a lot of them will come by and just in the office, if I didn't say it today, I just want to say thank you. And that in itself is a reward. I'm a person that likes to give. I'm not a person that looks to receive. And I tell people all the time, I will beg, borrow for everybody, but I never ask for me, because my reward comes when I see that they get what they need or what they want.
You truly are a remarkable woman, Vivian. Currently, you have the capacity to provide shelter.
Yes.
Homes.
Yes.
For 50 residents. You're looking to change that, and that's right now it's just men.
Right.
You're hoping to expand that, the sheriff is,
Yes.
to then incorporate a second wing
Yes.
that will provide shelter for women and children.
Yes.
Why is that needed, especially in our community?
Nobody should be homeless, especially a child. And, like myself, the sheriff has a heart for, any woman that's trying to raise a child. And the one thing that as a mother you always want to be able to provide is food and shelter for your child. So things happen that we have no control over. And if we can help them to get where they need to be, so that we can help them learn how to save or to budget, to get a job or go to school while they're here, so that they can make a living that is affordable for them to maintain housing. That's why this is important, because a lot of women, it's, do I work? And I can't afford daycare and to pay rent. So we're hoping that with whatever programs we can bring here that will help them to be able, when they leave here, to be able to afford a place that they can pay daycare and pay rent without a struggle.
And I didn't realize that this is one group that is among the fastest growing homeless population in the country.
Mm-hmm. It is. And unfortunately, it has a lot to, and I'm probably going to get in trouble, it has a lot to do with the rising cost of living. Unfortunately, you know, a woman can get help and assistance if she's going to school to be a nurse's aide or something low level, but those types of jobs are not the types of jobs that give you the money you need to maintain and support your family. They need support to go to school so that they can get a career, so that you can be a registered nurse, so that you can be a legal clerk, not just an administrative assistant. They need to be able to make the money to maintain their housing. And somehow, as a society, we have to figure out how to help them get to that.
And that's important to touch upon to any woman who might be watching this. What message can you convey for them to seek assistance, especially with the stigma behind being homeless?
Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And especially in a place like this, and we say this all the time, this is a non-judgment zone. Nobody in here is above anybody else. This is not a place of judgment. Ask for help. If you don't ask for help, you won't get it, and people will miss you. But the help is there, so ask for it. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed to ask for the help that you need. Someone out there will help you. We, individuals in here, help people that have nothing to do with this program. On a daily basis, someone might come up and say, I'm being evicted, and we can talk them through on who to seek that help from so that they aren't evicted. So just ask for help, because you never know where your help is going to come from.
If there is one piece of wisdom that you could impart on your younger version of yourself, first going into nonprofit work, what would that be?
Just don't look for the monetary reward, first of all. Nonprofit never pays well. Not to say that this isn't, thank you, Cher. But nonprofit is not a job that you're going to get rich at. Nonprofit is a job not for people that, not for those that, I don't know, I guess are looking for just, nonprofit, this type of job, you have to have a love for people. So if you have a love for people, then nonprofit is the way to go. If you want to do something that's meaningful, that is going to give you your life's rewards, then this is where you should be, helping other people. Because my life is rich, not financially rich, but it's rich because every day I get up and I like the job that I come to. I get up and I like the people that I see when I come here, even in their brokenness. And you have to learn how to love people even in their brokenness. You have to love them when they're unable to love themselves. So just, it's a lot of work.
It can be very hard.
Yes, it can be. But you have to be able to do that. And even when you don't like that person, you have to be able to love them where they're at in order to be able to help them.
We have a question. This one came from our previous guest, Edith Shira, which is my grandmother, 96 years young. The question she had, how do we fix what's going on in the world today with social justice, the political climate? Where do we start?
Conversations, real conversations, hard conversations. And when you have those conversations, you have to approach that person that may or may not look like you and may or may not believe what you believe with patience and understanding, and realize that no two people are the same. No two people have the same path. So you have to just be able to say, I know this person is not me, and I'm not her. So we need to be able to just sit down and put those aside and say, for the greater good, what can we do and how can we do it that it makes a difference so that everybody is better because of it?
Vivian, you have an opportunity to ask the last question for our next guest. So I'm going to turn it on you. What is that?
I looked at that and I was trying to think of what question I would ask someone. And I guess the first thing I thought of is, what is stopping you from stepping out and making a change? What stops you from just taking that leap and saying, I'm going to make a difference in this world and I'm going to leave my mark on it? So what's stopping you, I guess, would be my question.
That's a great question. Vivian Kornegay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Special Projects Coordinator, Albany County Sheriff's. SHIP, which is the Sheriff's Homeless Improvement Program. We greatly appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your comment. Thank you.